I had just started a live, and then I remembered that I had these microphones and I haven't had a chance to use them yet. So I thought, well, I will go ahead and use them. And so I want to see how it does. Um, anyway, it's been a minute since I have posted anything, and I'm sorry about that. I've got a couple videos in the works that I just need to finish editing. I got one on our Live Pro waiver that I got, and so I wanted to do a review on that. And so I thought I would just hop on right now since it's really nice here. Monday the heat is supposed to break, so that'll be good. I was gonna sit on my swing, but the way the sun is hitting, you'd never be able to see me. So I'm just on my deck in my chair, and I thought, well, hello, Dee. I'm sorry, I always forget your first name. I want to say it's Donna. Don't hate me if I'm wrong. I'm horrible with names, and I'm so sorry. I thought we'd do a Q&A, so if anyone has any questions. Otherwise, I'm just going to ramble for a little bit on what's been going on here. So the last 3 weeks, Donna, all right, good. Yay. Must be the carnivore working. The last 3 weeks here have been hot. So hot and humid, and it is just sapping the life out of me. I live right on Lake Michigan in northeast Wisconsin, and it's usually pretty cool weather. And then we've got one stint in the summer where we've got to close the windows and turn the air on, and that's generally the end of July, beginning of August. So I mean, it's right on, but for whatever reason, this feels more humid than what I remember. And my chickens have really been struggling. I actually have one in the garage because I don't know if she's got a heart issue or what, but Wednesday her comb started going like really, really dark, which usually is indicative of heart problems or going to have a heart attack. And she was still acting kind of okay, so I left her out with the rest of the hens overnight. But Thursday morning, she just wasn't moving and she wasn't looking good. So I brought her in the garage and I consulted on my chicken group. You got to have a group, you know, whether it's for living right or eating right or being a chicken owner. You got to have that group. You got to have that tribe. And oh yeah, near Chicago. Oh, couldn't even imagine how hot it's got to be. If it's hot here, I know it's hot everywhere else. I thought maybe she was egg bound, but I couldn't feel any egg. I did give her a little soak, and so I was talking to my chicken group, and I had to force electrolyte water down her with a syringe. She's slowly perking up, but I think the heat got to her. I think she was pretty close to having a heat stroke, and her coma's a little better now. We've been feeding her canned cat food because it's what she's liking right now. And so at least that's got a little more moisture in there. And so I don't know if she's going to make it or not. I guess we'll see. She's a little over 2, and she's just a sweetheart, and I love her to death. So I'm going to do everything that I can to keep her going. But hopefully she'll bounce back. I'm not even going to put her out until, we'll see. I don't know. I got to watch her, make sure she's drinking first, and then maybe she can go back out on Monday, but we'll see. So, last week, wow, it's been almost a week. So last Thursday, not to go, but off on a trip for the Little House Prairie Country. Usually with each of the kids, when they turn 18, we try to give them a little birthday trip, and whoever from the family can make it comes. And so when my 19-year-old turned 18, it just timing and finances didn't work out, so we had it for anyone. So we had to put it off, and we finally got it done, and we planned it at around this time because there was a special show that she wanted to see in Walnut Grove. So we first went to, on Thursday, we went to Burr Oak, Iowa, and Laura Ingalls doesn't write really about Burr Oak in her children's books. She does in her autobiography. So we went and got a tour of the hotel where they lived and ran there. And then from there, we went to De Smet, South Dakota, and we stayed on Pa's homestead and slept in a covered wagon. The flies were just insane. It was so they were just everywhere, just awful. But the property was nice. It was really a lot of fun. We slept in a covered wagon. We cooked over an open campfire. I didn't really want hot dogs, so we bought some stew meat and shrimp, and we cooked those with the skewers over the campfire. So that was fun. So we stayed there on Friday night, and then Saturday we went to Walnut Grove, and we spent the day in Walnut Grove. Got to see some of the Ingalls grave sites, and the whole trip was mostly outdoors and hot and sticky and just sapped me. But it was fun. It was so much fun and such great, memory making. I'm not an outdoors person, so it was a lot for me, but it was still fun. And it was just my husband and me, and then the birthday girl a year late, and then our two youngest kids. Our 17-year-old was actually on an out west trip with 32 other juniors, and they made the trek of Lewis and Clark, and so they spent 10 days out in the wilderness and stuff too. Sunday was our recovery day, so we went to mass, and then we went to this really huge candy and puzzle store in Minnesota. I didn't care about the candy. We were there really for the puzzles. And then from there, we kind of went and hung out at the Mall of America for a little bit. Then we went and stayed in Red Wing, Minnesota. And Monday we went to Pepin, Wisconsin, and saw Laura Ingalls, saw her birthplace. And they had put up a replica of the cabin that she would have been born in. So it was built exactly the same, but obviously the wood isn't 100 years old. So, but it was built exactly on the same location and everything. And then we came home. So it was a whirlwind 5 days. We were never in one place very long. And then got home and right back to the grindstone and dealing with the heat, and then overheated chickens. I had to give one a bath this morning, so I had filled up a bin with water last night and let it warm up, and then warm up over the day. But she had a messy accident, so she needed a bath. And she was my all black chicken, so it really helped cool her down. She didn't fight it. She was pretty much just kind of like, oh, this is nice. I don't mind this. But you kind of got to clean them off every now and then because you don't want them to get flies laying eggs on them, because that's just not good. I know that's how it would be in nature, but I put too much time and effort into these chickens to have flies suck the blood out of them. So yeah, that's what's been going on here. I actually went in the lake yesterday and it was pretty refreshing. I haven't been in all summer. I just haven't had time. It's crazy. So anyone got any questions or comments? Any keto questions? Any, thing? Oh, if you need, I'm starting to opening up more coaching spots. So if you're looking and you're just like, I don't know where to get started, I don't know what to do, I give a free 20 minutes consult, and then we go from there. Coaching really is just kind of helping you get usually you don't need one for more than a month or 2 months maybe. Someone to help keep you on track, help you figure out your macros, help you know when it's time to consult your physician, or find a physician if yours isn't on board with changing your eating. But I've got 2 or 3 spots open. So if that's, something, you can always email me at sherryslowcarbkitchen@gmail.com. And, we can do a video consult. Otherwise, I had a ribeye this morning because I was able to, yeah, Donna. I feel like I have to talk about iodine more there than I really want to, because there is a few iodophobic people there that other members listen to, and not, if iodine doesn't work for you, that's fine, but to just say, to make that blanket statement that no one should be taking it, or it's going to cause you hyperthyroid because that's what it did for that particular person, that's wrong. And in all honesty, if you're, I just have a feeling that how it was done was not done correctly. And so there's a lot of negativity that's going on in some areas about the iodine. And so I'm like, it's something that I've been studying for a long time. And so, just trying to help those that don't just automatically want to be like, oh my gosh, it's iodine, and then stop when really you need it. And it may just be that you're detoxing and there's things you need to do when you're detoxing. So, even the things that have been being said have been going against what Dr. Berry teaches, and you're not supposed to do that in the community. So, yeah, I've been a little discouraged that way, but right, we just keep plugging along. Iodine has worked wonders for everyone that I've suggested it to. As long as you start low and slow, and make sure that you're getting the sodium, and you watch for the detox things, and and then you monitor how you feel. So yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I had a ribeye this morning because I was able to cook it before my 11-year-old woke up, so she wasn't there bugging me for a steak. Sometimes that's the only time I can get a steak in. If we're not having steak as a meal as a family, I got to get it right away in the morning before anyone wakes up. Otherwise, I just have burger patties. But I really wanted a ribeye. I really felt like Fridays are really hard for me to get my protein and fat in, because we don't typically eat meat. And so I was proud of myself, though. I ate fish yesterday for dinner. So I had eggs for breakfast and egg yolks, actually. Sometimes I just like to cook up the egg yolks so they're runny. And then I'll save the egg whites for making our protein bread. So I had like 5 egg yolks in the morning. And then I just had a little protein something for lunch. I think a couple string cheese. I try not to do too much dairy, but Fridays tend to be a little bit more dairy heavy. And then we cooked up some cod and some tilapia. And so I made myself some fish tacos and with the egg life wraps, because those are just egg whites. And I buy those because no matter what I try, I can't get egg white wraps to turn out for me at all. And it's just convenient. And I'm the only one that eats them. So, the $4 for 8 of them, whatever, it's worth it for me. Sometimes you got to pay for convenience. So yeah, I had 2 fish tacos yesterday, and those were pretty good. And then I had some cottage cheese. So I haven't had cottage cheese in a long time, but I did have some full fat cottage cheese here. Donna, you can buy the egg life wraps. Well, if you have an Aldi near you, they sell them at Aldi. Walmart doesn't carry them. I know that. You'd have to check your grocery store. I'm not sure what's around in Chicago. If you're near Woodman's, and I know there's some Woodman's near the Wisconsin border, and even down towards Oswego and Aurora. I know there's some Woodman's there. They carry them, and they're like $3.99 or $4.99 for a pack. They come in different, yes, Aldi. So Aldi carries the plain white ones, just the regular ones. At least ours does. And they also have, it's an orange pack. It's got a different type of seasoning in it. And yeah, I don't buy my meat at Aldi either. Well, I buy the chicken, but that's about it. Our beef we get from a local farmer. So we buy a half a cow twice a year, and it works out to be so much cheaper, and you get better meat, and you're supporting the little guy, and you just got to budget for it. But yeah, we love Aldi, and we shop at Aldi quite frequently, and it's nice to see them expanding. When we first moved to Wisconsin, 29, yeah, almost 30 years ago. No, it was 30 years ago. 30 years ago this past May, we moved to Wisconsin. Because it was in 31 years. Wow, I'm old. May of 1993, we moved to Wisconsin because I graduated in 1994 from high school. And so there was not an Aldi in Green Bay. The only Aldi that we had was in Madison, which was about 3 hours from where we lived. We lived out in the country. And so when my mom and dad would have to take my brother to the doctor in Madison, he had to do once or twice a month trips for a tumor on his pituitary gland. They would go and do this huge Aldi stock up. And of course, we were raised on ultra processed, all kinds of crap food. So that's what they got at Aldi. And that's what Aldi was at that time. They didn't have the good selections like they have now. But I remember when we got Aldi in Green Bay at first, my grandpa was just ecstatic. He loved to just go to Aldi. It was something else, let me tell you. Now we've got 5 Aldis in our vicinity in Green Bay. You've got an east and a west, and then there's one in the little offshoot of, it's like 5 miles outside of Green Bay. You've got all those little burgs. And so, yeah, now we've got Aldis all around. So I'm like, I kind of feel like everyone has in Aldi, but I like the Egg Life wraps. They're good protein. They're clean. There's nothing in them other than, I mean, if you don't like xanthan gum, that's what's in it, but it's a very little bit. So I feel like I did get protein yesterday. I just didn't get enough fat, but I was very proud of myself that I ate the fish because I'm not a fish person. And so I had that and then some cottage cheese, and it was good. So I was very happy to have my ribeye today, and I think I need to go thaw some bacon and take some and cook some of that up. My daughter has a friend over there playing chess, which is why I'm doing this outside and not in the house, because I don't want to embarrass her, because you know how teenagers are, and you know. Oh yeah, there you go. Yep, good beef. Yeah. And Jewel might have the Egg Life wraps. We don't have those around here. I grew up with those because I grew up in Aurora, Illinois, and then my grandma lived in Montgomery, which is just right outside of Oswego, until she passed. And so we always went to Jewel Osco was what it was. So they might have the Egg Life wraps. I think you could probably go on to Egg Life, their website, and you could like do one of the find the stores that sells it. They've got cinnamon ones, which are really yummy. Sometimes I'll just spread like some butter on them and just roll them up and, you know, just kind of warm them. Maria Emmerich will toast them up in the oven and then cut them up into little squares, and then you kind of got a little crunch if you're looking for that crunchy snack, but you just want protein. That's a nice option. Yeah, so not much has been going on here other than surviving the heat. And I'm looking forward to, not that I ever want to rush days, but I'm looking forward to Monday, because then we're supposed to be back down into our low 70s. We're supposed to get some rain on Tuesday and Wednesday, which will be good because we haven't really had rain. But yeah, then the 10-day forecast, which changes on a dime, says we're supposed to be back down in the 70s, at least for the low 70s, at least for the next, you are so welcome, at least for the next 10 days. So I'm really excited. And I just got an email that my daughter's Letterman jacket is ready to ship. So I got to go check that proof and make sure everything looks good with it so that they can ship it, because we're going to do her senior pictures. I'm not ready to graduate another kid. Just not ready to do that. Makes me feel old, and I am just not ready. So I guess since no one else has any questions, I'm drinking my salt electrolytes from Keto Chow. I like the salty packets. I do get the flavored, and so yes, it has little stevia in it. But with the way the heat has been, I could tell this morning I was actually having a little bit of like vertigo, blood pressure issues being low. And so I could tell that I've been slowly getting dehydrated because I wasn't doing real good keeping up on my electrolytes. My daughter had taken all the flavored ones to on her out west trip with her. And so I just took a bunch of salt with us on our little house on the prairie trip. And then I got an email from Keto Chow that the chocolate electrolytes shipped, but they were out of stock on the fruity flavored ones. So they didn't ship those. So now I gotta email and find out if as soon as they get back in stock, because I have it on auto ship. if they're just going to ship them, or if it's going to be they're not going to ship them until my next auto ship would be there, and then I need to place another order, which is fine. It's just then I have to pay shipping. And the way that I had my auto ship set up, I had it for an every other month, so that and then I made my order big enough every other month so that I wouldn't have to pay shipping. I hate paying shipping if I don't have to. So if you like electrolytes, I'll drop a discount link in the description after this post, and you can get 10% off your, well, off anything from Keto Chow. The only thing that I buy from Keto Chow is the salt electrolyte packets, because they're just easy to have on hand. Not completely necessary. And they do have raw unflavored as well. But you could just get away with the Redmond salt. Sometimes for me, though, it's just easier if I've got something fun to drink. And I mean, with the heat the way that it's been, I knew I kind of needed some extra. So I've been drinking and ordering more. I think you'll like the salt, Donna, because we like LMNT too. Don't get me wrong. We really do. My 11-year-old prefers them over the salty. She likes the, forget what her favorite is. I like the watermelon of theirs, truly, but my husband can't drink them. Whatever, I don't know if it's the type of magnesium that they use or whatever, he can't drink them. It sends him right to the toilet, right to the bathroom. So yeah, I'll put the discount link in the notes once this posts, because if you can save 10%, why not save 10%? We do use their magnesium drops too from time to time. I like to have them on hand just because I prefer a chelated magnesium, and I have a really good chelated magnesium blend from Neolife that I use. But on occasion, my 11-year-old needs magnesium, and she can't swallow pills yet. So it's nice to have the liquid magnesium on hand for her. And Keto Chow's a good company, so I feel, good. I'm very picky. If we use supplements, I'm very picky where I get them from. So yeah, we get theirs. So yeah. Well, this has been lovely chatting. Staring at my lake right now. Used to not be able to do that when I'd sit on the deck, but my husband lowered the deck rail so that we could see the lake while we were sitting here. Yeah, I have the raw unflavored of the Element. I still have those, and I always forget that I have them in my cupboard, but I could easily put them in like my iced tea or something. Yes, I drink tea. I drink coffee too. Don't have a heart attack. I am not a carnivore purist by any means. So, but I am going to head inside and thaw some bacon. So thank you for those that hung out. If you've got questions afterwards, feel free to drop them. I try to respond to any comments that come on. And otherwise, hopefully in the next week, I'm going to be getting better at getting content up there. All right. So we will talk again soon.